To acquire knowledge, one must study, but to acquire wisdom, one must observe. Marilyn Savant. My friends, each and every day, 10 to 15 minutes, you're acquiring both knowledge and wisdom. And that's being in the market each and every day. It's going to take some mileage, that is time, for you to understand these markets, for you to find your favorite stocks and ETFs that you learn the personalities of and can trade. And we're here for you each and every day. I'm traveling today, but I have stopped what I was doing, cut aside some time to spend it with you. And I sure hope you're spending the 10 to 15 minutes each day that we ask you to do. Talk about where the markets were. Stocks rolling over just here as the market is just about to end, about 4 minutes away from 4 o'clock. See the S&P and the NASDAQ 100 down, particularly this afternoon, but down in the morning also. You can see at the bottom of the screen here, down in the morning, further down in the afternoon. Look at all that volume. Look at the volume on the 2-day chart as it heads down. That is the Thursday, Friday. That candle will finish up in just a minute. And a doji this week with higher than average volume, red volume, down volume. We saw the market come down, got us a nice 1.83% gain, then stalled last week. Looked like it was trying to move up. This week then dying on the vine as we watch it again on the smaller charts rolling over on this chart, turning into a red doji. Now, what does that mean for us going into this next week? It means we will very much be looking to get into a down move. Now, of course, I know some of you went ahead and pulled the trigger on a down move, feeling like there was price discovery trying to be reached last week and this week, and that we are now in a down move. I don't feel quite so certain there. We are sure moving down. I suspect it will be going down this last week, but again, just suspecting that. We have 1, 2, 3 days of down movement after several days of up movement and then sort of sliding around for a few days. Does look like the market is rolling over, but again, you're counting on a doji. That means lots of indecision, but tending down. So if you've pulled the trigger on a down trade, jumping into SH, which is the single inverse fund for the S&P 500, I do want to make sure you write down for yourself why you did it, what your thoughts were, what backs you up on that, and then track it over the course of this next week and see how things go for you. Remember, if you're not taking notes, it's like it didn't happen. It's what they say in police work. It's also what they say in the medical field. If you don't write it down, it didn't happen. So make sure that you are keeping a good trader's diary, a trader's journal, so you know what your thought process is. You will learn more from that than just about anything else. Let's look at where we are. Almost a ditto here with the NASDAQ 100. Now, it's a little bit higher, but we do see it trying to roll over too. We actually have an uptrend line we started at the beginning of the week, and we've now run through it on the 2-day chart, you can see. And on the half-day chart, you can see that too. When you look at where we are, we had no way to run any kind of trend line on the S&P 500. So we're heading down toward the prior one. And again, on the NASDAQ 100, we have breached that. And of course, you can look at all the volume, just a little bit higher than average volume. And again, all we've got is a doji, though, on both of those charts. If you pulled the trigger, justify why you did so. Bonds pulling up a little bit for the day. It's hard to see on these Heikin Ashi candlesticks. You can see where it was down in the morning, down in the morning, and then a little bit up in the afternoon. Overall, didn't affect much of anything. Look at that super high volume going down this week. Did reach a lower low than the 2 prior weeks, particularly that big down week 2 weeks ago. And we see we have 4 days of down movement with higher than average volume on the 2-day chart also. Things are looking good on the down move on the TLT. Now again, what's the inverse fund in that? TBF. That's another single inverse. Of course, we already made that 2.10%, and the rest of it is just riding since then. Now, let's move on to gold, see what's going on there. Gold up again today, up a bunch yesterday, and we can see where, again, 0.28% for the day. Nice big up week on gold, higher than average volume. Things moving in the right direction, just stepping right up, particularly the last 6 days on that 2-day chart. Just beautiful. Now, where might gold go to and test a prior high? That's going to get us all the way up to, let's see here. We can bring that down and take a look. Going to get us somewhere up to about the 190, 150 mark. Again, being right now as the markets close at 183.60, that's pretty sweet. We'll see. It could also try topping off where it had before. It's already touched that, though, and moved above it. So we'll see what gold might be willing to do for us. But that up trade so far going into the second week has been sweet. Lastly, we will look at 20-year, Bitcoin. I already looked at 20-year bonds. Bitcoin up 2.18%. And again, as we spoke about, you see Bitcoin up, starting up on the week beginning the 18th of September, then a doji. Then up the week starting the 2nd of October, the next week a doji. And then this week starting on the 16th of October, again moving up. So Bitcoin, again, continuing to try to move up. Now, don't forget the high we reached back on that crazy morning on the 16th of October has not been hit yet. That high was all the way up to $29.29. The high we saw this morning was, let's see, the high we saw this morning, oh, forgive me, I was looking at the wrong chart. Yeah, it was $29.29. The high that we saw this morning was $28.90. So again, getting closer, but again, not hitting that prior high, but still trying to trek up. So again, nice to see Bitcoin continuing to, as it slugs back and forth, it's inexorably moving higher. It's done that throughout the course of the year. When it bottomed out the end of last year, starting on that week beginning the 3rd of January, moving up, pulling back, moving up, pulling back, moving up, pulling back, and we're not anywhere, well, we're getting near where we topped out before here and here, about the same spot, $31. So we'll see. We've got a bit more to go, about another $1.40, again on a $28.57 per share on the ETFs. So again, if you want to learn Bitcoin, practice trade it here on the ETF. I think it's, again, you don't have to practice trade this. You don't have to pretend that you have an account at one of these questionable Bitcoin exchanges. You're actually using the stock market's ETF. So again, that's one of the advantages here. That's the reason we practice XBTF. Again, we don't give legal advice here. We don't give market advice here. We're an education firm. We want you to train with us. Learn how it works by practicing. Practice trading and, of course, fractionally trading. That is a small dollar amount, like $100, to keep yourself honest, to see what kind of percentage you can make on these trades with a very small amount of money. It helps you do what? Helps you practice your entry points, your exit points, how to enter, how to put in a good till canceled sell order, how to put in a good till canceled buy, good till cancel buy order, and also a sell order at the appropriate spot. So again, learning those rules by doing. That is how you get the wisdom. God bless, my friends. Hope you have a great weekend. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.